animal chiropractic friends, are we educating our younger kids? Are we educating the next generation? One of the most important things we need to do as adults is to be able to help younger generations understand, how do we get here? All right? They have no idea. As a matter of fact, keep that in mind. You know, how many ground rules did you have when you were a kid? How much guidance did you have to get where you are today? And I'm not saying that on any of our parents were bad or wrong, or even our adult mentors. What I'm saying is, as animal chiropractors, how many of you knew what you could do that would help your community? How many of you knew at a young age that you were that powerful and able to help entire communities become healthier and live better? Many of you probably don't even recognize that yet today. And that is one of the biggest things that we at Animal Chiropractic Education Source are trying to help our students understand. So last night, Dr. O and I were invited to go speak with some 4-H, a 4-H club. A 4-H club in Granbury, Texas, invited us to come to speak to their livestock kids about animal chiropractic and what it can do for their animals. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to see their eyes light up. It was so incredible when one of the little younger boys understood physics. I was like, this is heaven. And when we get that out of them, we let them know that what they know is so important, and their ability to then transfer that to not just the livestock that they're working with, not just the animals that they're showing, but also to animals all over. And that inspires them to recognize how powerful they are, to recognize how much they can do with just what they're given. That's right. Remember, I mean, there's not biblical, but there's lots of biblical, passages that tell us we've got everything we need. It's all here. The birds don't need socks, and I forget how that goes. I don't think they talk about socks. And don't worry about, where my next meal is coming from. Well, maybe they worry about that. They don't worry about it because they know where to get it. And as humans, we should recognize that we have all kinds of possibilities. And it's not just to reorganize our environment. It's not just to, make things comfier for us. Come on, air conditioning, right? But it's really about the idea that we, with a thought, can actually create something. We, with a word, a change in a word, can actually make huge changes everywhere. And with the power of these hands, we can actually make animals healthier. We don't make them healthier. We allow them to make themselves healthier. And when we can teach that to younger kids, they have a vision, and they have not just a vision, but they also have a goal. They have an understanding, and they have, let's face it, they have hope for a bright future. There are children out there who don't recognize their own power. They don't recognize, they are living in situations where they can't. They are not being treated by adults appropriately. They in the way that lets them know how amazing they are. They sometimes don't have food. They sometimes are the only breadwinner in the home. There's all kinds of things like that that go around all over the world. And it was so gratifying to know, I'm totally grateful that in this country, we let our children recognize their power. We let our children understand that they too are destined for greatness. And as animal chiropractors, I think that's part of our journey, and that's part of our commitment, right? we committed, once we took the animal chiropractic course, to educate our community, to educate people about their health and well-being, and to educate people about the animals' health and well-being, and how those animals can actually remain healthier when that brain and spine are working better. I am on the driveway, and there's this like magic space right here. You can't see it, but if I go that way, my phone has to reconnect to something else. It's like I'm outside of the zone of internet. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys today, that as animal chiropractors, you have an amazing power and ability to help others, and not just to help them get better, but to help them recognize their own internal power and abilities, knowledge, and the ability to make decisions for their whole environment. At Animal Chiropractic Education Source, we train veterinarians and chiropractors to build successful animal chiropractic practices. And it starts with helping the younger generations understand what animal chiropractic is and how they too can be a part of that. One of the reasons that we are so committed to younger generations, and I have talked to second graders and they get it. One of the reasons we're so committed to younger generations is this: they will understand it and pass it on to their adults, number one. And number two, we want them to recognize that their choices make a difference in the world. And when they make a choice to be a healthier entity, it affects their whole community. It affects how healthy their community is, how much they thrive and survive. I was trying to get the horses in here, but they are up there in the trees. They are there to do some amazing things. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor and you don't get to connect with the younger people in your community, animal chiropractic is a pretty amazing way to be able to connect with those kids and let them understand how magical the body is. And I say magic because that is the term, that is the term that we hear over and over from our from our clients, especially from the 4-H and FFA kids who bring in their animals to be adjusted on a regular basis. And by regular basis, I mean once a month, at least. Some of them once a week. That's right. Those students, those younger generations who bring those animals in once a week, achieve amazing things with their projects and are able to then go on and share that information with their friends and their colleagues. And these are going to be the farmers and the ranchers and the individuals who raise food for the future. That's right. They are able to understand the amazing ability of those animals that they have, and how health is not a mystery. Health is a choice. Health is the ability to grow and sustain life and reproduce appropriately. And without that internal ability, which they're born with, where would we all be? So understanding that it's an internal, already comes with the package ability is so important. And these guys get it. They get it because they are still in that part of your life where you're unstoppable. You are what's the word? Immortal. You're going to live forever. And they still have that belief. And that is the belief that as animal chiropractors, we want to harness. It's the idea that, the body has ability to resource itself, to recycle and renew itself on a regular basis. And kids get that. They know when they fall and they bruise, they heal. They know when they get a cut, it heals by itself. Of course, it has to have a Band-Aid. and preferably a Band-Aid with something on it. But they know that the body can heal on its own, and they understand it. So we love talking to kids. If you're an animal chiropractor who is not speaking to the kids in your community, you are called. I am going to challenge you all. Get out there, get a gig with somebody less than 10 years old, and talk to them about animal chiropractic. It will renew and inspire you to do more and do better for your community. I'm Dr. Amy Hayek, president and co-founder of Animal Chiropractic Education Source. If you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor who would like to begin building your successful animal chiropractic practice so that you can inspire generations, find us at animalchiropracticeducation.com.